Something that's been on my mind recently is the let them theory and how it does not work for me whatsoever. I grew up being told by my family to communicate, always speak up for myself. As you grow up, especially as a woman, you have to learn to speak up for yourself and tell people what your boundaries are, what is right from wrong, if something happens that you do not like, as they are not mind readers. And it depends on what it is. If it's something harsh that obviously no human being would like, then that's a different story. But if it's something that is more specific to you, if someone would let it slide but you don't like it, you obviously need to communicate that. When I go through social media, I sometimes see the let them theory pop up on my algorithm, and this theory is by Mel Robbins, right? And she explains it in such a beautiful way that it makes you feel like, oh yeah, I should go about my life this way. It's become a notion of, if your partner is being rude to you, let them. If a coworker is being mean, let them. If you're being bullied in school, let them, because that's their own personality, they're going through their own thing, and you should just let them. And I don't think that is good at all. It's very harmful in some circumstances. I took a course in university. It was one of my electives, and it was, let me get this exactly, it was children's literature and film adaptations. One topic that we talked about was Disney and Disneyfication, of how Disney created, their own Disneyfied way of telling a fantasy. Snow White and Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella all have a sense of escapism. I have a specific note that I wrote when I was taking this course, and I wrote that one key aspect is that the main character / protagonists leave or are displaced and later have, after defeating the bad, like an evil character, they regain their initial position and have a happily ever after. So they start off good, and then an evil takes over, they escape, and then when they defeat it, they come back to their initial spot and they are happy and, happily ever after. One of the theoretical readings that our professor, talked about was Keith Booker, and he wrote something called Disney Does America. In his writing, he focuses a part on Snow White and Cinderella, and he writes, Disney portrays in the film that escapism is an appropriate strategy for dealing with injustice. However, our professor asked us this question, yet no one was able to kind of answer, and it was that, is escapism the only or the right way to combat, injustice? Obviously, in harsh conditions, in conditions that you think there's no fighting back, it's better for you and your health to leave and escape, then yes, that is good. But if it's something that you can communicate, you can think that there is an actual solution here, it is in my control, then there's no need. But this really made me think about the let them theory, because I think the let them theory is a sort of escapism. It can definitely soothe some anxiousness, things that you feel are out of your control, and things that you feel like, okay, I'm being maybe too controlling and I need to sit back and just let them be themselves. Yes, that works. But in other circumstances, it is so much better to communicate and see how they react to it. If a person is right for you, if a friend is a good person and is the right friend for you, if your family understands you, then when you communicate you don't like something, or just in general you communicate, if they're the right person, right friend, then all will be well, and you don't have to repeat yourself several times. Maybe once, maybe twice, but not again, because they understand you and they love you and they get it, and you can relax, But if they don't know anything and you're just saying let them, they don't know what bothers you, they don't know that you have agency or autonomy, and they will just run over you with things that they think is fine, because they think that you lack self-esteem, or that you don't even know who you are, or what you want or what is important to you, and you will start to forget as well, and you will feel resentment over people. In other situations, like negative situations, instead of saying let them, you should sit and think about, maybe I need to get help. Maybe I need to speak up. Maybe I need to communicate. Or maybe I should just leave. Instead of saying let them. When you say let them, you forget. Maybe you make excuses. You will start to not think about yourself, and you will lose yourself in the process. So that's been on my mind recently. I'm really happy that I, could connect it to something that I studied, because sometimes you study something and you think this won't matter, but I don't know, the let them theory has always been in my mind, and it's always popular, but people have become a little more aware that it doesn't help in all situations. And when you think about it, connecting it to like other problems and other things that you've studied is very interesting. And yeah, I don't know. If you agree, let me know. If you don't agree, let me know. But that's my opinion. And yeah.